Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson with Investor More, and we're back with another real estate video. And today we're talking about something completely different that I've never talked about before, and it's kind of crazy and extremely interesting and fun for me right now, and that's virtual real estate. So we'll talk about that, what it is, and I'll show you kind of what I'm doing and how to get started if you want to get started doing it as well. Now first, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Festivus, all those great holidays out there. Hope everybody has a great time with their family, friends. Whether you celebrate or not, you can always have a great time with family and friends. And we're in Colorado, and we always love to see a white Christmas in Colorado. Well, this year it's raining outside before Christmas, so I'm not sure we're going to get that white Christmas. Had almost no snow this year. It's been totally crazy. So we're going to talk about virtual real estate. And before we get into that, of course, check out my blog, investormore.com. I have tons of information on real estate, and I do have multiple articles on there as well about virtual real estate, how it works, what it is, and why we should start paying attention to it. I thought this was pretty crazy the last couple of years, but then the more I've looked into it and learned about it, the more I realized it might actually turn into something pretty big and that becomes part of all of our lives. Okay, so first off, what do I mean by virtual real estate? So a lot of times people hear virtual assistants, virtual wholesaling. That's not what I mean. I don't mean someone who works from far away and helps you, or selling houses in another state. I mean virtual by it does not exist in real life. It's like online. It's digital. It is not physical real estate. And that sounds a little crazy, and I know it sounded crazy to me at first too, but it is out there. It is happening. And there was a plot of land that sold, I think it was last month, in one of these virtual worlds for $2.4 million. So there are big brands, big corporations getting in on the virtual real estate world as well. So it's not just something way out there, way crazy that a few people are doing. It is starting to become more and more mainstream. So what is virtual real estate? So first off, you might hear the term Metaverse. And so Metaverse is kind of like the solar system or galaxy of the virtual real estate. And then within the Metaverse, there's lots of different worlds, right? There's like Decentraland, there's Sandbox, there's Upland, which is what I'm doing. And they're all kind of completely separate from each other, right? They have their own platform, their own maps, their own rules, their own, sometimes their own money, because this is all backed by cryptocurrency usually, in the blockchain, which I know is kind of crazy for a lot of people too. And it was for me as well. And I'm slowly understanding how all of this works. But they're all kind of separate and different from each other. And so you can kind of pick and choose what you think might be good, what might work, what won't work. And there's a good chance some of these might be really big and amazing and a great investment and turn into something huge. And there's a chance some of these will do nothing and dwindle into obscurity, and you'll never hear from them again. If you invest money, you might lose it all. So there's all kinds of chances for different things going on when something like that is just, like this is just starting out. So just beware, right? There's no guarantees. There's no easy money out there. Sometimes it can come pretty quick, but you can also lose it pretty quick as well, depending on what you're doing. So within these worlds, a lot of them will have kind of limited land, limited sales, limited parcels, and that's where they create value. I hear that all the time. Well, how can virtual real estate have any value if you can just make more and more of it? And that's true, except a lot of these different worlds have almost like laws and rules built into the blockchain that can't really be changed, that limit how much property there is. And you can always see, kind of the chain of who owns it. It's very transparent. It's very easy to know who owns things. And it's very tricky trying to figure out how it will happen and how it will work. But there's some interesting stuff going on where brands are thinking, hey, maybe we can sell stuff in virtual real estate and not have a store, not have to pay for a website to be built, not have to do all this other stuff. Or bands or artists are like, hey, I can sell my art on here. I can list music on here. People can come to my virtual plot of real estate and listen to my song, and I'll get paid that way instead of having to go through a record label and distribution and a manager, an agent, all this different stuff. So again, it's pretty far out there to get to that point, but there's a lot of different opportunities out there to actually use virtual real estate, and it can be fun as well too, which is where I've been kind of going into it and kind of been getting addicted to it a little bit, I'll have to admit. So it's hard to explain everything that's going on in one video and all of that, but basically there's different worlds. Some have their own cryptocurrency they built behind it, like Decentraland uses Mana, so that can go up and down in value, as well the prices of properties can go up and down in value. I think the cheapest property you can buy in Mana right now is like $13,000, and as a week ago or so I checked, it might be more than that or less than that now. Sandbox as well is thousands of dollars to buy a property. And so it can be a very high barrier to entry for some of these worlds and virtual real estate places. But some other ones, like what I'm doing with Upland, are very easy to join. You can actually buy a property for free, it's kind of close, or you can buy some for $10, $20 on up from there, which, like I said, can be addicting because it's really fun when you figure out how it works and what it does. And you can even flip properties and collect yields and rents sort of from them. You can do contests and different stuff. So it's kind of like a game at the same time, but it could be a really good investment, or it could be a horrible investment as well in the future. So I'm treating it as a really enjoyable, fun thing to do and learn about with no massive expectations. But then in the back of your head is like, well, maybe if things really take off, it could be really good investment in the future as well. Now, something else to consider too, I started on Facebook about this with some friends and people, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to get involved in that. Facebook is running it. I don't trust it. So Facebook changed their name to Meta, if you haven't heard that. And so Facebook has said they're going to invest $10 billion into the Metaverse in the future. Who knows doing what, if they create their own world or invest in different ways or support other things. But the Metaverse is not Facebook. So, right, Meta is different from Metaverse. So I want to make that clear. They're not the same thing. They're not owned by Facebook. The Metaverse is kind of like its own thing. It's, people can make their own worlds inside of it. There's no, real tie to it. You don't have to join the Metaverse or anything. It's just a description for this virtual real estate space. It's kind of like the internet, right? There's all these websites and different things within the internet, but nobody owns the internet. They don't control it. That's just the space where everything is. And so Facebook wants to get into it, but they are not. They don't own these worlds. They aren't part of it. They aren't censoring people or anything like that. That's totally different, even though Meta sounds very similar to Metaverse. Okay. So let's talk about Upland a little bit and why I'm doing it and how it works real quick. Upland map. So the really cool thing about Upland that I liked is they use real cities and real plots of land. So I can buy my house with well, I can't. Maybe in the future, but I can see like where my house is on the map, and if they do offer that area for sale, it would have the exact same lot size as what I have in real life. Now only one person can buy it. It's minted on the blockchain, and you can sell it. Whatever, but it's within Upland where you can do this. Now, they don't have cities everywhere, so they've released cities in San Francisco, New Orleans, Kansas City, Nashville, Chicago, Cleveland, the Bronx. That's my guy right there we'll talk about. And some other ones, Oakland, around here, and they've released them, released the lots. You can buy the lots, mint them is what they call it, and then you can sell them, just hold them, do all kinds of stuff. So it's kind of cool. And you can use this on your computer. You can use it on your phone. They have an app. And what they use is basically UPX as their currency. So it's not really a cryptocurrency. You can't go buy and sell UPX. It's only used within the game. But you can buy UPX in the game with dollars. So it's very easy to actually buy it, which is nice because some of these other worlds, you have to find a way to buy cryptocurrency, open up a Bitcoin wallet, or a Coinbase wallet, transfer money into it, which can be a pain, verify your identity, find out how to buy this other crypto coin. It can be a very steep learning curve where this is very simple and very easy, which one way I like it, you can actually use dollars and just go that way. So the first thing you'll do is hop in here and pick a city. New Orleans has cities available, Kansas City, Nashville. Some of the other cities are all sold out. I'm not sure about all these, but I know San Francisco, Oakland sold out. Cleveland and Chicago, I think, might have some. They have Manhattan. We're going to zoom in here. And these are all sold out. So these cities are sold out. You can still buy properties there, but you can't mint them. And so minting them is kind of like building a new lot, a new subdivision, and you are able to buy it for very cheap right off the bat when you mint something. And usually it's worth more, and you can sell to other people after that. And that's one way to make money. But as of someone who's just starting out, I think you get 4,500 UPX to start out with. It's very hard to buy properties somebody else already owns. You kind of need to mint them. Or you can spend $10 and get 10,000 UPX. It's kind of a dollar for every 1,000 UPX. Or you can spend $50 and get 50,000 UPX. And if you do buy in here and join this game, use a referral code. If you use mine, I'll have it below. Sign up with that referral code because the first time you buy properties, you'll get double your first purchase, and I'll get some too. So if you use mine or somebody else's, doesn't matter. Just make sure you use one so you get that bonus. I didn't use one, and missed out on that, so I learned that afterwards. So here's the Bronx, and these are all the properties I own in the Bronx. I know it's kind of crazy. I said I've become addicted to it. And this little button right here will kind of show us all the neighborhoods in the Bronx and where all the properties are. So they just released the Bronx. It was a mad rush to buy properties. It was pretty crazy, pretty competitive, and lots of fun. And they have what's called collections too. So within these neighborhoods, they'll announce special collections where you can earn more money. So you have these collections where if you have 3 properties in this neighborhood, you get a bonus and you earn 1.64 times what the yield is. So you actually earn money on these properties while you hold them, which is kind of cool too. And so I know I'm going through this kind of crazy like and fast. There's a lot more into it, but I'm trying to give you a real brief overview. And you can have collections that are just in the Bronx, on the same street, just having properties in the same city. There's all kinds of different ways to have collections, and each city has its own collection. Now, something to know too, before we get too far, if you travel to the Bronx and you go to that city, it's not easy to just travel to another city. You can't just click on it and go boom. You actually have to take a train. Here's the train station. So you'd have to go to the train, send your guy there, pay for a train ticket, which can cost a couple hundred UPX, take it to another town, and it will take like hours to get there, like kind of like in real life. Or you can take an airplane and you can fly to another city as well. And the airport is, where is it? Down here somewhere if I zoom out. Where did it go? But there's an airport. There it is. There's the airport. And then you can send your guy over there, take a plane. Again, it's much more expensive, gets you there much faster. You can go to their city. So realize that when you go to a city, it's not easy to hop around each city. It takes some money and some time to do it. So you don't want to just go somewhere haphazardly. You want to kind of plan and figure out where you want to be. Okay, so I have some collections in this area. Really cool to have collections, but it can be very expensive. But if a city is just starting out, they don't tell you what those collections are until a week later. So you can buy properties all over, hope you find one in a collection. If it is, it's worth much more. You can flip them, sell them, or make more money. So we'll go to one of my properties. When you zoom in far enough, then you'll start to see the lots. There you go. Here are the lots, and it's pretty cool. This isn't like an airplane. This gives you more sends. So if I want to send my guy, this is my property right here, I can send him to that property for free because it's my property. But if you want to go to any other property, it will cost you like 20 to 50 UPX, and you only have so many sends. You have to replenish them every day. You get 3, or you click on these little airplanes and you'll get more. But I've already got the most I can have, which I think is 11. But anyway, we'll click on my property, and it shows me I have it for sale for $25,000. Shows me the property size, which I'm not sure how that correlates to real life. And it shows me what I make per month. That's my earnings. And then if it was in a boosted collection, it shows you what that would be. And then some of the cool stuff is I can make it for sale, not for sale. You can hunt for treasure, which I don't do too much, but you can do that. You can build on it, which is a little trickier too. That's something else we'll talk about. And they don't have any advantages of that yet, but they will in the future. Another cool thing, you can click on the street view and see what your property is in real life. So I haven't even seen this one yet. That is actually kind of a cool property. So that's pretty cool. Now don't go knock on their door. Don't pretend you live there, but you do virtually own that real estate. So it's kind of neat and interesting how this works. Now I can make it not for sale, really easy, and then it shows me how much I paid for it. I paid 14,000 UPX, and then I can sell it. This is an important part too. So I said you can buy UPX, you can have UPX in your account. It's basically $1 for every 1,000 UPX. You can't just take UPX out and cash out, but you can get money out by selling properties for US dollars. So if you're looking right here, I can list a UPX price to sell it for, or I can list a dollar price to sell it for. And I haven't even done that yet, but you can create an account, you can collect dollars and sell them for actual US dollars. So there is a way to get money out of it. So it's not it's much easier to put money into it than the other programs, but it's a little harder to get your money out of it. And the other programs, worlds, are also not super easy to get your money out of either, but it's easier to sell them on the open market. Their currencies are on the open market. So that is a downfall to Upland, is that getting your money back out is a little trickier, but it is possible. But I can put this property back up for sale, and someone comes along, they can buy it. It automatically mints everything. I don't have to do anything, just credits my account for that money. So I can go to this property right here. I can buy it for $35,000 if I want to. And this is where it takes, like in real life real estate, learning the markets, learning what prices are. Have to do the exact same thing here. It's kind of interesting and kind of cool. And then one other trick right here. If we're looking at this space right here of all these properties, I can click on this little calculator looking button over here. And it'll show me everything that's for sale sorted by the lowest price first. So that's kind of cool. So if I say, hey, this is the cheapest property over here. There it is right there. I could buy it for $13,000 right now. And that's kind of cool. FSA, that's Fair Start Advantage. That means if you have less than 100,000 UPX, you can mint FSA properties. But if they're for sale, anybody can buy them. But when you mint them, you have an advantage as just starting out to mint those. So the Bronx is sold out. They're opening new cities soon. San Bernardino, oh, I forgot which ones. But they're going to open some new cities pretty often, which is pretty fun and pretty cool. It's neat to try and get collections. But if you really want to mint a property on your own, we'll show you how to do that really, really, really fast. So I'm going to zoom way out, and I'm going to go down to New Orleans. I have some properties in there too. So I'm not going to move my guy down here because I'd have to take an airplane, and it'd cost money, and I want to stay in the Bronx. But if I was in New Orleans, the way you mint properties is, this is a great spot. You have to send your guy to the city. He's got to be in the city. And then you can only mint stuff within a radius of where he's walking around. So my little guy will just walk around randomly unless I send him somewhere. And as soon as I send him somewhere, he starts walking around randomly again. He'll go in one direction, turn a little bit, change a little bit. And so if I sent him right here to this property, which I can't do right now because I'm not in the city, but if I was in the city, I could. Then he'd zoom over here, and like the properties within like this much radius would turn a different color when they're properties that can be minted. So light blue means they're already owned. This dark green means that they're for sale but owned by someone else. And these light gray ones right here, they're not been minted. Nobody owns them, nobody's bought them yet. So if my guy was right here, this would turn a light green, a very light green. And then I could click on it and I could buy it for that 8,778 UPX. It tells me how much it earns, tells me how big it is. That's a big property. And I could buy it right now, but my guy would have to be down there. Then I could mint it, it'd be my property. Again, I can do the same thing here where I can kind of see all the ones for sale, but this does not show me ones that aren't minted yet. So my guy has to be in the area, has to be walking around before he can do that. And like I said, if you're just starting out, you can mint an FSA one. I can't mint it because I've got more than 100,000 net worth, and it can be pretty interesting and pretty fun. So there's lots of properties in New Orleans available still, but many of the other cities are sold out. So some other things to think about here along with what I talked about. Again, quick overview. You can click on your properties tab and see what your net worth is. You can also get something called Spark, which is like something that allows you to build structures. So I am working on building my first structure. Again, I don't know what to do with it yet. They haven't told us yet. It's just something you have. But you get Spark if you level up. So you start at like, once you get to 10,000 UPX, you're an official Uplander. Once you get to 100,000 is the next level. Once you get to 1 million, it's the next level. And when you level up, sometimes you get Spark. And they also have Spark events every month. So wait to level up until one of those Spark events, because if you do it during the Spark event, you get extra Spark. And I think that will be valuable down the road. I think they're selling Spark for like $500 per Spark, and you can get like half a Spark for leveling up to 1 million, or 0.6 Sparks if you do it during their event, which is what I did. And they'll send you emails, they'll have announcements, they'll give you all the information about when those events are, what they're doing. They're really good about communicating with you on that. And you can also see how much UPX I have in my account, my property value, and this is what I paid for my properties, not what they're actually worth. So my property value is actually much more than that, because a lot of properties are worth more than I paid for them, but that's what it shows right there, because they don't consider it an actual, value until you've sold them, which makes some sense. And it tells you how much UPX I'm making per month based on my properties, my collections, all of that. And then you can see a list of all the properties I have. You can see which ones are for sale, all of that, which is pretty cool too. Other stuff down here, you can see collections, messages. They'll tell you if you sell a property, get an offer for a property. If someone joins, it's a referral. So I can see right here, it's pretty cool. Someone joined and I got 50,000 UPX as a bonus an hour ago. Someone else joined, sold a property in the Bronx, sold a property there. So you can see all the stuff going on there. You can see leaders, who's doing the best out of everything. And assets, you can also have NFTs, which is again another thing to talk about. We won't talk about now, but I do have like one NFT. I don't remember if I bought it or if I just got it, but it's not that interesting to me yet. Settings, some resources, challenges, profile, different stuff. If you want to buy UPX, right up here, you can get UPX. You simply click on this, and on my phone, it's like a one-click from Google Play, and you can get, your UPX. If you want to spend a whole lot of money, you certainly can. But I've been trying to get most of my money from referrals, buying and selling properties that way, and not just spending gobs and gobs of money here, but I have done some there. They have special NFTs you can do. Again, I'm not doing that too much, but if you're more into NFTs, you can look into that. And then, yeah, if I want to collect my money, then I go there and I collect all my earnings. And this, I got paid for a visit. So if you go visit a property, I said you have to pay for a send. Well, the person's property you visit, they get paid as well when you do that. So overall, it's a pretty fun and entertaining game once you understand it, but it's kind of complicated to get going. But at the same time, you can come in here, buy a property pretty quick, and get started playing and learn about it without knowing everything, and that's what I did. And then once you figure out the city releases, the collections, different things like that, it can be a whole lot of fun and pretty addicting. And yes, you can like flip properties too, where I took some properties in this area which has a collection, so they're expensive properties. I think I bought it for 70,000. We're selling it for 99,000, and I think I've sold 3 or 4 in this neighborhood in that same price range where people are paying a lot because it's part of a collection in this neighborhood. Because you can kind of zoom out, like I said, click on here, and you can see the cheapest property for UPX is 98,000, or you can also buy these properties with real money here through PayPal as well, and that's a whole nother thing to go through too. But sometimes you get them cheaper if you pay with real money instead of UPX. So a lot of different things going on with this world. All right, so that's a quick and easy version of Upland. There's so many different things to go through. They have lots of guides, tutorials. Like I said, I've got articles about it too, and I'm still learning as well, so I'm trying to get involved in it. The cool thing about it is it's pretty easy to join, very low barrier entries, unlike some of the other worlds. It's kind of annoying you can't get your money out right away. You have to sell a property for dollars, but that's also an advantage because that's why it's so easy to join and spend money there. Because if it was a true cryptocurrency where you can trade it and different things, there's so many more regulations, and the US has tons of regulations, and the wallets have tons of regulations. It just makes it so much more complicated. So it's actually nice, it's easy in that way. Prices have been going up a lot. I've done some research and looked at different prices, a few months ago, and prices are increasing pretty fast across the board for different properties. Each time they release a city, prices are going up. So it is growing very fast. A lot of people are joining pretty quickly. I keep seeing my friends and stuff who I haven't even mentioned this to talking about it online. So it is becoming more mainstream. So if you are interested in kind of doing something different, a fun game, it's kind of like Monopoly, and their little llama guy, I don't know if I showed the llama guy, looks kind of like the Monopoly guy, has a little monocle. Although I did research and figured out the Monopoly guy never had a monocle. That's just something our brains think of. But anyway, it's another story too. It's kind of fun, kind of cool, and I'm nerding out on it a little bit right now. So if you're interested, like I said, make sure you use a referral code to sign up, whether it's mine or someone else's. Mine will be below in the description. You can click on it and go to the Upland and sign up there. If you never end up buying anything, no worries, doesn't matter, but probably smart to sign up with that code so you have that bonus if you do it. And then I get a bonus too, so that's always nice to see those come through. All right, if you have any questions, comments, want to tell me how crazy I am, go right ahead. Happy to hear it. I'll probably do some more updates on this as the world moves through, the virtual world grows and expands, we'll see. If you have any experiences with this or other worlds too, please let me know as well. All right, thanks for watching. Love the likes, comments, shares, all that. And we'll do a lot more real estate videos in real life. Don't worry, we're not going to get away from that.